Stoicism, where ancient philosophy meets modern day life. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with distractions and faced with challenges, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But the Stoics have a different perspective. They teach us that happiness and fulfillment can be found not in external circumstances, but within ourselves. From the likes of Zeno, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius to modern-day writers like Ryan Holiday and Massimo Pigliucci, Stoicism has endured through the ages. It's a philosophy that emphasizes self-discipline, virtue, and the pursuit of excellence. And in a world that often feels chaotic and meaningless, Stoicism offers a path to a better life. And in this video, I'll be taking you through some key habits that will shape you into a true Stoic. One key concept in Stoicism is Memento Mori, or the reminder that one day you will die. It might sound morbid, but stick with me here. The Stoics use the fact of death as a source of motivation to achieve the things that really matter. Understanding that you could die at any time makes you think, prioritize, and behave in a much more meaningful and deliberate way. But how do you get there? Well, for starters, you need to learn to accept what you can't control. The Stoics distinguish between what's in their power to influence and what isn't. And they believe that true happiness comes from focusing on the things that they can control, like their own actions and virtues. The ancient Stoics believe that everyone should strive to be virtuous and do what's right. But let's face it, not everyone is going to be a saint. So every day when you wake up, you're going to encounter some not so great people. People who are rude, ungrateful, or just plain mean. But here's what Marcus Aurelius says. I shall meet people who are officious, ungrateful, abusive, treacherous, malicious, and selfish. In every case, they have got like this because of their ignorance of good and bad. So we can't control how others act, but we can control our own response. Instead of reacting with anger or cruelty, the Stoics suggest responding with sympathy. Because at the end of the day, those who mistreat us have forgotten what's truly important. And let's be real, being kind to others is always a better way to live. So go out there and spread some love. Let's talk about the art of self-denial. No, don't run away just yet. This isn't some sort of ancient torture technique. The Stoics believe that by voluntarily denying yourself certain pleasures and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, you can train yourself to be happy with less. So instead of indulging in all the things that make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, you might try doing something uncomfortable or challenging, like taking a cold shower or fasting from your favorite foods. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why on earth would I want to put myself through that kind of misery? Well, it's all about taking control of your passions. See, the Stoics believe that our emotions and urges, aka passions, can actually control us if we're not careful. But by practicing self-denial, we can learn to control our passions instead. And the more we do this, the less we'll feel like we need external pleasures to be happy. It's kind of like working out, you know? At first it's tough and uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And eventually you start to see results. You feel stronger and more capable. The same goes for self-denial. The more you practice it, the stronger and more capable you become at controlling your passions. And trust me, there's no greater feeling than knowing you are in control of your own happiness, no matter what life throws your way. Alright, so you want to dive into the wisdom of the Stoics, huh? Well, let me tell you, it's not going to be a simple task. You can't just skim through these texts like you're scrolling through your Instagram feed. Oh no, you've got to put in the work. But don't worry, I've got a method for you that will help you get the most out of your reading experience. First things first, put down that pencil, close that laptop, and just read. Take your time with it. Read slowly and thoughtfully. Then here's the fun part. Pick a small section of the text, maybe just a page or even a single paragraph, and really focus on it. Think about it, reflect on it, and ask yourself some tough questions. What's the message here? What don't I understand? What do I really agree with? After that, read it again, but this time, really try to spot the nuances and complexities. You might even realize that you completely missed something the first time round. And you know what? That's okay. You can repeat this process several times if you feel like it. Trust me, the more you think and contemplate on these teachings, the more you'll get out of them. Some basic texts that I'd recommend reading to really understand Stoicism are Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, Letters of a Stoic by Seneca, and Discourses by Epictetus. If you put in the effort, these Stoic texts will reward you with new insights and perspectives. And who knows, you might even discover something about yourself in the process. At the end of each day, it's time for a little self-reflection. Epictetus says to review all that you did during the day and ask yourself, where did I go wrong? What did I do? What duty did I leave undone? It might not feel great to call yourself out, but it's all in the name of self-improvement. And don't forget to take a moment to recognize what you did well too. It's not all bad news. Making a habit of this can help you cultivate virtue and pursue excellence. Sure, it might be uncomfortable to hold yourself accountable, but it's worth it in the long run. And don't worry if your list of things to improve upon is long. Get some rest, recharge those batteries, and get ready to crush it tomorrow. Remember, just because the Stoics lived thousands of years ago doesn't mean their wisdom is outdated. In fact, it's more relevant than ever in our modern world. So go ahead and practice self-denial, end every day with self-reflection, and read the Stoics contemplatively. And if all else fails, just remember the wise words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Are you a Stoic? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.